Hello everyone, my name's Dan and I am here to show you another gadget. This time it is the Xiaomi Amazfit Verge. I don't know if I said any of those words right, but we'll just assume that I did. I'm just going to call it the Amazfit Verge, that sounds easier. It is a new smartwatch from kind of a Xiaomi-backed company, so it's like one of the Chinese companies. It is the same company that makes the Amazfit Bip, which is here, which I really like, and it's one of the best smartwatches and very cheap smartwatches I've ever owned, but it is very cheap and it is very basic. This is a more advanced watch. It's a more advanced smartwatch. It has a lot more features and a kind of more advanced software and a more advanced touch screen. I'm gonna unbox it. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Going to turn it on, have a play with it. Yeah, just some first impressions, and then in about a week or so, or a couple of weeks, I will do a full review once I've used it properly, once I have you know, fully kind of understood all of its features and checked it out. So yeah, let's get started. Let's unbox it first. Let's have a look at it, what it looks like, and then we'll talk about the specs and the features that it has. Okay, so here's the box. We are ready to go. Let's see what this bad boy looks like. The Amazfit Verge. There he is. So there it is, the Amazfit Verge. Looking good. It's still got this little sticker, so we'll just take that off. Okay, so just from looking at it here, you can see it's a circular watch. It's got kind of quite a thick plastic edge, which I'm not a huge fan of. I've already seen what it looks like, obviously, from the photos of the product before. I would have preferred it to have been a lot thinner around here. I'm not sure why they did that. Okay, let's take this out. Let's see what else you get in the box, and then we'll just have a chat about the specs and everything. Okay, so this is the charger. I guess this is an instruction manual, which is probably going to be in Chinese, but so that's not going to be helpful for me. So this watch was actually released a couple of months ago in China, but it's only just been released in the USA, or at least it's available for pre-order in the USA for about $169. I think if you want it cheaper, it's cheaper if you buy it from China and import it, but obviously it will take a lot longer to get to you. I mean, I'll post the links to both where you can get it, so you can decide whether it's worth spending a bit less to get it in China. Get out. Move out of the way. You don't really get that much in the box, just instruction manual, charger, and the watch itself, but what more do you need, really? I guess let's turn it on, let's see if it's got any power, and then we will have a look at the operating system, and then we'll talk about the specs. So it's basically got one manual button here at the side, as you can see, this little orange thing, and then it's just a touch screen. It is pretty thick, to be honest. It's one of the thicker watches that I have. It's a lot thicker than the Amazfit Bip. Okay, so while we wait for this thing to turn on, which seems to be taking its sweet time to do, I can tell you a little bit about it. The main kind of upgrade, I guess, from the last version is the continuous heart rate monitor, which literally monitors your heart rate continuously. It doesn't do it every 30 seconds or 10 seconds, it does it continuously, which allows you to kind of detect heart issues or like heart arrhythmias or something like that, like, you know, similar to what the Apple Watch claims to be able to do. This is almost certainly not as advanced as the Apple Watch in that respect, but it is an advancement compared to, say, the Amazfit Stratos or basically any other heart rate monitor. I mean, this is kind of one of the first sports watch or smartwatches to have that kind of heart rate monitor, which is continuous, actually continuous, rather than just every 30 seconds or so. Okay, so it's obviously telling me to connect to my phone, so I'm going to have to download my Amazfit app, and I'll do that, and then I'll get back to you once I've connected, because it does not work otherwise. Okay, my dudes, here we go. I have downloaded the app, the Amazfit app, and I have updated the watch, so now I can use it properly. And here we go. This is it. This is it in its full functionality. And as you can see here, that I've got, well, it's displaying in the Chinese language, Mandarin, whatever it is, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's clearly not English, but that's because I have imported this from China because I just wanted it as soon as possible. There are ways to change it to English, which I will do later, but if you buy this from the US store, or even if you buy it from the Chinese store and it's an international version, then you will have it in English when you first get it, so you won't need to worry about that. From my first impressions, it's very responsive, just as responsive as my phone, so I mean, it's very easy to use. So as you can see, it's already displaying some notifications. Compared to the last smartwatches, the Amazfit Bip and Stratos, the notification system on the Verge is supposed to be much better, so I will see if that's true or not. Now, the Verge uses its own kind of operating system. It doesn't use the kind of standard Google smartwatch operating system, which I think is a shame because that works really well and has loads of apps and stuff. But we'll see how this goes, and this obviously has some apps on its own already, and we'll see what else it can do. The other thing this can do is NFC. It's got NFC, so I'm not actually sure if that will be available for payments in the West, in the UK and the US. We'll have to see if it works with Google Pay at some point. I mean, they're releasing it in the US, so it would be a shame if they didn't use that feature, so you could maybe be able to use this as an NFC device. Now I'm going to put the watch on now, we're going to see what it looks like on the wrist, and yeah, we'll come back to you and we'll go back to my original position. You can see my pretty face. I know how much you all love that. Now I'm just putting it on with the Amazfit Bip, which is the watch I usually wear, so you can just see a quick comparison between the two, see what they look like. Obviously the Bip is a lot cheaper and it has a lot less features, but it does have some advantages and it is a lot smaller, as you can see kind of here, the Verge being quite a bit thicker. So there are some differences. I will do a full comparison between these two because some people have been asking me about it, but that's for another day. Let's just have a look now at the Verge on its own. Okay, so there we go. The Verge is on my wrist. It's pretty comfortable. I mean, it is pretty thick. I have very thin, childlike wrists, so thick watches usually do represent a kind of challenge for me. But I mean, this right from now, it feels comfortable. It's very, very light. One of the complaints about this watch when it was just first announced or well, released, I guess, is that the display is not always on, so it turns itself off. You can't just have it on all the time, which you can with the Bip and some other Amazfit watches. However, just using it now, if you do this motion to look at the watch, it turns itself on. I'm not sure if you can see that. It turns the screen on. Oh, there we go. I'm assuming it's to save battery. And yeah, I mean, the battery in this apparently lasts for 5 days, which is a lot better than the Apple Watch, but not nearly as good as the Amazfit Bip, which lasts for like 6 weeks or something. But this can do a lot more than that, and we will see if that's true, whether it actually does last 5 days or whether that's a bit of an exaggeration. 5 days will be enough for me though. You can see that a bit better. I mean, I'm not sure if the screen is flickering or not, but as you can see here, is what it looks like. For a start, the screen is very colourful, very bright. I am quite impressed by that. Apparently they did really work hard on the screen for this watch, and I think that they have done that. It does look like a very, very attractive screen. Most of the other Amazfit watches don't have a great screen, but yeah, this is certainly an improvement from what I can see right from the start. Yeah, looking good though. The only thing is that it isn't the most attractive watch from just the looking at it. I mean, this is plastic. It's kind of not a great color, like grayish color. Yeah, I think the Amazfit, where is it? Compared to this Amazfit Stratos, which is kind of very shiny, as you can see. It's very shiny, very glass and metal and very hard, toughened plastic. This, I think, looks a bit better than this, just from looking at it straight on. It doesn't look awful, it doesn't look old, it still looks quite modern. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get over it, because it has some cool features which I'm going to try out. That's pretty much all I can say right now, because I need to go out and use it really, don't I? And check out all of its features. So yeah, like I say, the main features of this watch are the advanced heart rate tracker, the continuous heart rate monitoring, NFC, bright screen, notifications. Oh, you can make calls and receive calls straight from the watch if you connect it to your phone. It's also very cheap, and I think $169 or $160 if you're going to buy it from the US. I'm not sure when it's out in the UK. Maybe you would just have to get it from China if you are like me from the great island of Britain. So Amazfit Verge, I like it so far. Not the best looking watch in the world, but it seems to be pretty powerful and very attractive screen. So yeah, I'll see about all the other features in the next week or so. Stay tuned. I will do a full review of this watch when I've used it properly, and I will also do a comparison between this and the Amazfit Bip, which is here, and maybe some other smartwatches that I have that are of the similar category. But yeah, pretty exciting watch. I will get back to you as soon as I have used it. So if you're interested in hearing more about this watch and seeing those comparisons, then please subscribe, because I will definitely get back to you. And yeah, like this video if you found this useful and if you are interested in the Amazfit Verge. So until next time, I will see you around. Bye.